I'd like to begin with a couple of quotations. This is Doug Bradley, aka Pinhead. I know that many of you will have caught up with the sudden burst of internet chatter about a new Hellraiser film going into production, and will be keen to know whether I've been approached to play Pinhead again. So here's the deal. I have been approached just in this last week beginning 16th of August, regarding a proposed new Hellraiser film. This is not the remake, which has been endlessly discussed for the last 3 years. With the working title Hellraiser Revelations, it will be the 9th film in the series. I would stress that I have had no contact from or negotiations with anyone from Dimension Films. Rather, these contacts have been by way of private discussion with individuals involved with this project. Following these discussions, and after reading the script and giving it due consideration, I have decided not to participate. The ink is barely dry on the script, and it is scheduled to be in front of the cameras in 2 weeks' time, and in the can by the middle of next month, September 2010. The minuscule shooting schedule is more than matched by the budget. Whether or not this means that somebody else will be stepping up to play Pinhead, I have no idea. I guess we can watch this space together. One way or another, this does not seem to me to represent a serious attempt to revive the Hellraiser franchise. However, I wish everyone who will be directly involved in the making of this film good luck with it. And finally, Clive Barker, writer-director of Hellraiser. I want to put on record that the flick out there using the word Hellraiser is no fucking child of mine. I have nothing to do with the fucking thing. If they claim it's from the mind of Clive Barker, it's a lie. It's not even from my butthole. Pain? What, like bondage and shit? It's the Hellraiser Revelations watch-along! Woo!
Yes! Hello and welcome, everyone, to a watch-along from the Everything Sequel podcast. I am Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards, the man who wonderfully interpreted the musings of both Pinhead and Clive Barker themselves, Tom Steward of Lonesome Whistle Productions. Hi, Tom.
It's okay, Mummy dearest. It's okay. We're going to get his knob gobbled before midnight.
Is that a line from this movie?
That is a line from this movie.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm particularly struck by the fact that the person uttering it is not British, and yet they are using British penis slang.
Right.
That says something about the level of care applied to this movie.
All right, everyone. We are here for a watch along. As always, Tom, I assume you have prepared by seeing this movie once in advance.
Yes.
And
yes, I had an hour to spare, so I watched it.
Exactly. This movie, everyone, is an hour and 15 minutes long.
Yes.
And is so, I'm assuming, bad that we're all...
Hey, let's not prejudice people.
We're all going to watch it on Amazon Prime, so go ahead and get that ready right now.
Yeah.
But it's impossible to watch it without commercials.
Right. So instead of, clearing 90 minutes out of 75 minutes out of your schedule, take out 90 minutes out of your schedule.
This is great.
The story behind this is our choice of this is a very intriguing one. We wanted to do a horror movie for October, the month of Halloween. We also wanted to do one that was from a big franchise. You're about to hear that our Halloween, our first run of Halloween sequel
episodes
coverage
on the podcast.
On the podcast. So we wanted something that would complement that. We've toyed around with a few ideas. We were considering Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which fits one of our criteria, which is that it's a sequel that's difficult to categorize.
Right.
But the other criteria we have is that we need to hold your hand through that. You're going to need our help to watch the movie. And there's really no evidence to suggest that that anyone has that problem with New Nightmare. That both, certainly by now, everyone's on top of its kind of meta quality. So with 79% on Rotten Tomatoes,
I was going to say, once you saw it was up at 79%.
I mean,
on the tomato meter, you deflated a little bit and went, "Oh no!"
I mean, we've talked shit about movies that are less liked, so it didn't seem right. It just didn't quite fit, and we had real difficulty filling in what movies that fit into one bracket but not the other, and vice versa. But here with Hellraiser Revelations, we're ticking all the boxes. Sorry, imitating Clive Barker has taken a toll on my throat.
Are you all right, my friend?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just need to put a nail in my throat, probably. That's the solution to most things in the Hellraiser universe. But this ticks all the boxes, and of course, it is a major franchise It is an installment from a major franchise, not a major franchise installment. Right. Let's make that very clear. This is a video sequel. I will stop and say that again. Video sequel.
Correct.
Okay? If you need to know one thing going into this movie, remember those words: video sequel.
Well, and as I said, I prepared nothing. I have not seen this movie. I know nothing about it, but I'm just looking up now in real time. Under box office, it only has a budget, and it has a budget of $350,000.
Yep. And the money is up there on the screen.
That was my question for you.
Well, this is so. This is a kind of sequel we haven't done before, which is actually a pretty common subgenre, which is sequels that are made solely to hold on to rights. And bigger movies than this are an example of that. Spider-Man has done it. Fantastic Four, I read, has done it twice.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm sure Spider-Man will do it again because it's such a disputed property.
Right.
So this is not unusual. Perhaps what makes this unique is that it was shot in 3 weeks. It received. I've been saying video sequel, but this is a theatrical release. Technically, a theatrical release. Because there was a cast and crew screening of the movie.
Oh, wow.
That was, and I quote from Wikipedia, and whoever wrote this, please get in touch, because there's no author credit on Wikipedia, and I love your phrasing, which was, and I quote from Wikipedia, ostensibly open to the public. That phrasing says it all. That tells me everything you need to know. It tells me that not all the cast and crew wanted to come.
Right.
To the screen, that there are seats left for the public, and also that this is obviously an attempt to to get it on the books as a theatrical release. But of course, the real release date is October 18th, which is when this premieres, when it went to DVD. I'm not going to count that cast and crew screening as a genuine release date. Yes.
There you go.
Yes, as previously discussed, it's 75 minutes long, so barely a movie. 5 minutes of that is credits.
Great.
So, and as previously,
we're going Last Blood on this one.
I mean, in so many ways, this is barely a movie, and we'll discuss all the different ways, but 75 minutes, 5 minutes worth of credits says it all, I think.
So,
but also, I mean, as previously discussed, no returning cast. The first Hellraiser movie to not have Doug Bradley as Pinhead, which in itself is remarkable that he made it to 8.
Right.
Several of those were video sequels. So
I have a confession.
You've seen this?
No. I'm not sure I've seen any Hellraiser movies.
I've seen the first two, but a long time ago. And
exactly, like if I've seen the first one, it was long enough ago that I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah,
but I don't recall having seen it.
These are prime viewing conditions that you're describing here. The ability to have not seen Hellraiser or not remember what Hellraiser is supposed to be is only a plus going into this.
Okay. I can, as I said, I was looking up things in real time. I can add to your Doug Bradley. He said he ultimately declined after being told that his salary from previous films would be, in his words, cut down to the price of a fridge.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
Now I want to know which fridge.
Yeah, exactly.
He obviously had a fridge in mind.
He referred to the film as a cinematic ash can copy.
And that's being generous, I would say this movie was shot in 3 weeks, and it looks like it was shot in 2.5 to me, I'd say. I don't know what they did with the last few days on set. They certainly didn't do any reshoots or retakes.
Right.
It's like a 75-minute style. It's a 75-minute blooper reel. Is what it is.
Oh my gosh.
But it kind of dovetails what we're about to talk about on the podcast because the production company behind Hellraiser in its video era was Dimension Films, the genre wing of Miramax. Mm-hmm. And yes, you'll be happy to know, or miserable to know, that the cum stain of the Weinsteins is all over this movie.
Yeah. Damn it.
Not that I imagine they had anything to do with it, but the Weinstein cum stain sprays far and wide. Oh, the radius is quite impressive. Just let you all throw up in your own mouths for a few seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're back. This was always this was always the biggest fear when Dimension Films took over the Halloween franchise.
Right.
That it would become a Hellraiser, that it would be endless video sequels. And by, I don't know, luck or design, Halloween has managed to avoid that fate.
Right.
To stay theatrical until this very day, which given the depths of video hell that the Hellraiser franchise descended into, is nothing short of remarkable. This is a cautionary tale of what can happen.
Right. If you don't keep your eye on the ball for your franchise.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe, I mean, it could have been, Hellraiser could have been a deterrent for that to happen to Halloween, It was probably, it was a nuclear option, really. It was like, Malik Akkad had his finger on the button, ready to blow up the brand should it get to this point. And I mean, there's so much sad irony associated with Hellraiser at this point in the series. Perhaps the saddest for me, and sadness is a theme that you'll see in this movie. Most of what you see on screen
intentionally
can be described as sad. No. No. There's just a general air of sadness about this movie that I can't quite quantify. Is that having made this movie solely to secure the rights, how many more movies do you think were made after this?
0.
1.
Ah.
They did it all for one more shitty video sequel without Doug Bradley.
Wow.
So
now, did the guy who played Pinhead in this movie go to the last one?
I did. I looked that up, and no.
Okay.
But his IMDb of Stefan Smith Collins, who plays Pinhead in this movie, is a treasure trove of hilarious titles. And since we have a bit of time to play with, I will go through some of them here.
By all means.
Let's see. What do we got? Let's start at the post Hellraiser revelations. A movie called Where's My Stuff? Suck and Moan. Actually, that's a TV series.
Must have been a takeoff of Dude, Where's My Car?
Like an unlicensed sequel to Dude, Where's My Car? OMG, spelt OHEMGEE.
Tell me there's a movie called LOL. Please.
Not that he was in. He also played a character in that called Mo Game. When you see Stefan Smith Collins in the room, you're not getting a guy called Mo Game. He was in a film called Carnal Orient.
What?
Carnal Orient. I've heard those two words, but never in the same sentence. And his character was called Wall Street Clive.
That sounds like something that might have been made by a Weinstein.
Yeah, it does. His name is Niv. Hey, and before you say anything about that, at least he is the titular Niv in that.
All right.
Okay. Who Wants Me Dead? I don't know why. Again, that doesn't seem that out of the ordinary. And yet he just has a knack for picking projects with the most absurd title.
That's a great title.
I like this one. This is a real brain scratcher. Island of the Gondoliers.
All right.
I know. I don't know why.
If you say so.
It seems like one negates the other to me. If they're gondoliers, they could get off the island pretty easily. And then, I like this one just because this is really more of a synopsis on the assassination of the president. That is both the film and its synopsis. There's more. This is either unending. Unflinching triumph, the Philip Rockhammer story. You ever heard of Philip Rockhammer?
What?
Okay.
That could only be a pulp detective type novel or a porno. These are our only choices.
I've been burying the lead here because his very first movie is a project called Come Fly With Me, Nude. So there you go. If you wanna brighten up your afternoon, go on Stefan Smith Collins IMDB for about half an hour, and you'll see the day in a whole new light.
That's amazing.
It's pretty.
What was that one? The Island of Gondolas.
The island of the Gondoliers.
Okay.
And I feel like
that's amazing. So perhaps it was just all gondoliers, but without their gondolas. So maybe that was the problem.
Which makes me think
they had to learn how to work together. Or maybe it was like the island of Dr. Moreau, and it's just a bunch of people with boat faces, like a high point coming up out of the nose.
The possibilities are endless. I also like the idea that the screenwriters thought that if you take the gondolas away from the gondoliers, they would have no water ability. So it's like they probably know how to swim, given that their job is to be in water day in, day out. But I don't know. Maybe it's like a Twilight Zone, and that's the sad irony at the end of it. If only these guys had learned how to swim. That's the kind of O. Henry twist at the end. Like Burgess Meredith losing his reading glasses. It's like,
right.
Without our gondolas, we can't go near water. Well, there you go. Absolutely nothing to do with Hellraiser Revelations, but I think a joy. I think you'll agree.
Still stellar work.
This is the gift that keeps on giving in terms of information. Not the movie itself, but the information around it is a really
it is astounding
high degree. Yeah, and you know, our last watch along was Cruel Jaws, and
I'll say
that both a description of the movie and the movie. And we're here with another high caliber bad movie here, so we're gonna have to ask and answer. So bad it's good again. I think for this one. I think we're definitely in that territory. But let's see. Let's keep an eye out for that.
I'm ready. I mean,
yeah. Well, there's not much more. Like when you've gone through Stefan Smith Collins IMDb.
I mean, there's not.
I love how I keep saying his first name wrong every single time. Every single fucking time. I can see it says Stefan, and I'm still saying Stephen.
Oh man! So, I mean, is there anybody in this movie that you recognized?
The voice of Hellraiser. Sorry, the voice of Pinhead. It's not called Hellraiser. I'm like Paul Scheer with Malignant.
From the actor playing him?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, that's not Stefan Smith Collins' voice. No. Voice and actor are two separate entities. Is Fred Tassischiori, who is, I mean, one of the most prolific voice actors in America today. Any major animated TV project you'll see him attached to. He's currently doing voices on Star Trek Lower Decks.
Okay.
But you know, I'm not going to go back into IMDb, especially, you know, just to say this guy has done everything that you would imagine has been done in animation in the last 20 years. He's been a part of it. So he definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, the biggest celebrity associated with this movie is the voice of Pinhead. Everything else, I mean, I'm willing to believe was made and starring a porn cast and crew. Nothing to suggest that's not true. You might at a push, you might recognize one of the dads. He's a Scots actor who you will probably recognize as like a guest star on various TV procedurals.
All right.
But it's more that he looks like people he's not. But you've probably seen him too. But you probably think he's. I tell you who I keep mistaking him for, the guy who stars in Glee, the teacher. I kept thinking it was him for a while. Okay. It's not. But this guy's got a knack of looking like people who are famous while definitively not being famous.
Looks like somebody.
Got it all.
Looks like other people you watch in other things.
Yeah. And I believe he's doing... I was trying to figure out whether he was even attempting an American accent, but he is... I looked it up and he is Scots because his Scots comes out. I mean, again, there's no 3 weeks. There's no time for reshoots or retakes.
Exactly.
Or the budget to hire a dialect coach. So I'm not laying any blame at his door there, but I was aware that he wasn't. He was not American and sounded Scottish to me, and he was, in fact.
All right.
Yeah. I mean,
let's press on.
Let's press on, and yeah. So. We'll do our best to keep synced through the ads. We'll tell you when we're like back in. You'll probably get the same amount of ads. So hopefully it won't be too distracting. And my instinct is you'll probably need that breather. to get through this. You'll
Yeah,
probably
I was
need
going to say that this movie might be like the commercials might help us in the sense of it might be nice to take a break and then sort of recap
yeah.
what's been happening so far and what we think.
Or you could just use the breaks in the movie to like gradually erect a noose in your living room in order to hang yourself at the end. I mean, the options are limitless, but the ads are a nice buffer, I think.
Man, when the suicide note just reads Hellraiser Revelations,
which is actually a better context for the title than what we see in the movie. Yeah, I mean, come on, with a title, you're asking questions. What does that title mean? Do you think this is the kind of movie that is in any way going to answer what that title means?
No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as previously discussed, we are on Amazon Prime.
Kind of,
sort of. Are you ready, Tom?
Yeah, it's up. It seems like it's all ready to go.
And here we go, everyone. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Dimension Films. Yeah, sound with no visuals. Looks unfinished from the very first second of the movie.
I don't have enough money to get a train.
You'll notice, Neo Art and Logic. Neo Art and Logic ranks pretty highly on that fake sounding production company canon we're building up.
Now that's interesting.
You'll also notice that the font type,
different fonts,
and the size of the text is completely inconsistent.
Is this found footage?
Yes, it begins as found footage style. I mean, there's your first production shortcut. Not even particularly well done for that style.
Never have I thought to myself, just put the camera on the lips.
I mean, this could simply be BTS footage that was upgraded in the edit.
Oh, Nico Bradley.
Yeah, they're at the
border.
They're at the Mexican border. Yeah, this movie starts a few miles from my house. Literally, they're at the San Diego, Mexico, Tijuana border. So it's like 3 miles from where I live. Nothing says Hellraiser to me like two teen coos hounds going to Tijuana to bang prostitutes.
To find bow-legged women. I am mostly upset about their lack of attention to the road.
Car's been stolen already. You already mentioned Last Blood. This has a real... They're using found footage to be more racist.
Right.
By suggesting that all that happens in Mexico is you go there for hookers and you get your car stolen.
Wait, what the fuck is happening?
Well, this is the Hellraiser bit. They've just kind of cut to it very quickly. This is what happens in all the Hellraiser movies. They find a box with a new dimension in it. So
in Mexico?
They're in Mexico right now.
So they were on their way to Mexico, then their car got stolen in Mexico, and now we're opening up a portal in Mexico.
You might think that this is going too fast. We will go back to it.
To clarify?
a blurry out of focus Pinhead's pretty good way to do it, to sort of show Doug Bradley's not in the movie.
Right. Is the whole movie found footage?
No.
Because I'm starting to feel seasick.
But by the time, but when the found footage goes, you'll wish it was back, and vice versa. I've always wondered how found footage was found.
Right.
This kind of asks more questions than it answers about that, though.
It's nothing.
It's just a terrible special effect. Don't worry about it. It's not going in the movie unless we have to. Oh, we have to.
Where is this compound?
I don't know, but that car totally knocks the camera off its moorings. This is what I mean about a 75-minute blooper reel. It's like, good enough. Someone sitting in the canyon going, good
moving
enough.
moving on.
But I totally hit the camera. Keep going. That's Scott's dad in the tartan.
That hey guy, that looked like the first time he'd ever spoken a word on film ever. What the fuck is that?
That's him enjoying a meal. How do you act enjoying a meal? I go, I love that there's so many visual ideas in this movie that they just haven't had time to complete. Like, you'll see the bone of the meat is sort of aligned with the mum's cleavage. Yeah, but it's kind of like, if I had more time, I could do something with it, but nah.
Like, who cooked that? And why isn't somebody saying, so should we just get a pizza? And who toasts and then says, who wants more wine?
This is like with Cruel Jaws and I love dancing. No, what did she say? I want to dance while dancing. Someone gets up at a toast.
I want to dance.
Goes, who wants more wine? Keep going.
Why don't we ever talk about them? Emma, please. We don't talk about dead sons and brothers at the table. You know that.
This is a themed dinner party, and the theme is ill-defined relationships.
Oh.
Who are the parents? Who are the kids? Whose spouse is who? Who knows?
Did you hear that exposition come out?
Yeah.
I mean, you hired a detective, didn't you? What did he find?
It also means that her boyfriend took her brother to TJ to try and get laid.
Right.
Which is
dickish behavior.
Yeah. First ad. Okay, so what are your first and first mostlies?
My first. Thank you for saying that. First and
or just laugh through the ads. That's fine too.
First and first mostlies, this movie is a train wreck.
That's pretty amazing that comes through in the first 2 minutes.
So, well, let me say this. First and first mostlies, not so bad it's good yet.
Yeah, okay. This movie has got some way to go to be so bad it's good.
Yeah. Also, I can't help but notice, maybe it's because this movie is only an hour and 15 minutes long, but they really couldn't find a good place for this first commercial. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, this movie is 2 scenes. 2 scenes chopped up like scrambled eggs in a cup.
So wait, the whole movie is going to be found footage and dinner?
I shouldn't have told you that, should I? This is exactly the wrong time to tell you that. Now you're thinking, how did they get 75 minutes out of that?
What?
Oh, we're back. We're back in, everyone. That's her brother's bedroom.
Wait, are you looking at a camera yet? Maybe, I feel like I might be a little ahead.
Shit. Well, this is going to be fun. Okay, I'm looking at a camera right now.
All right, I paused it. Tell me when he's drinking.
Okay.
Yes, now?
Drinking now, drinking now.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, God, this is the saddest looking club I have ever seen. Look how lonely this DJ looks in a second.
So I don't understand. It seems hard for me to believe that she would pick up the...
Look at that. The saddest looking DJ I've ever seen. And there's like 3 people in this club.
This is not a club.
It's prostitute and 3 people for local color.
So, wait, did you catch that? They just showed a camera. See, like right now. What camera, what camera is looking at his camera?
Okay, yeah. Now's about the time you begin to realize they're going to move between fan footage and just the film, but the quality is kind of indistinguishable, so it'll take a while for your eye to adjust. Prostitute.
Nemo. But
what they don't.
My bigger concern right now is that she picked up the camera her mom was looking at. Her mom was looking at the boy scared of Pinhead.
This is what I mean about
that's where it would be when she picked it back up.
I don't understand the chain of custody of this fan footage. A PI got it back from them because they mentioned that. Only the mom has seen it. I don't know where the police are in all this.
Wow. That's my girlfriend?
This is when I realized that Steve is her brother and Nico is her boyfriend because of how she's reacting. Wasn't clear before then.
Sorry, which one's which?
You know, it doesn't matter. It goes back and forth.
That's the boyfriend?
They got a little... That's the boyfriend who's Harvey Weinsteining that girl.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'm just learning about my piece of shit boyfriend. See, now where I'd like this movie to go is for her to say, I wish Pinhead would attack them.
Okay, hold that thought.
Wait, please tell me.
I don't have enough of a sense of what happens in this movie to say that that is not the case. They already said that they were there to bang prostitutes. Now he's mad that she's a prostitute.
Now, right? Is she dead? Did he fuck her to death?
This is the point where I really don't have to say this is a Harvey Weinstein movie.
What?
Yep. Our protagonist is a serial killer. How quickly did that pendulum swing from douche to serial killer? Woof! Like that.
I was drunk. I'm not now, but I was.
They make them go to sad little clubs with lonely DJs.
I'm not going to jail for the rest of my life.
Why isn't the first thing they do delete the video? It does come up,
right?
But like, there you go. He's deleting it. No, we got to keep it.
Except maybe call the police like I just said I would.
Yeah. Here's the reason I'm not deleting it. They should have just not considered the possibility that they would delete it. That would have been a better scene.
I like when he asked him, what did you do? And he said, I didn't do anything. And I'm just wondering if like the director pushed him towards that.
Director?
Really hit that do.
Director? There he is, Pinhead.
So is Pinhead just inside that box inside his dimension?
That's exactly the question. I like
hoping somebody opens it.
I vaguely remember that the Cenobites live in like a liminal dimension that is accessed through the box, but this movie makes it look like he's a little borrower in the box.
Like
if he shook it, he would go like this.
The genie in the lamp, right?
Not how it works. I'm sure Clive Barker would say that that's not how Cenobites work.
Yeah, why don't we talk about this?
Okay, I'm going to go to my mark now. There's only 3 marks in the entire house I can go to. This is one of them.
To go fuck prostitutes.
Can you also hear that dialogue bounce off the walls? It's like a real echo problem in the whole of this dinner party scene. Dinner party scene, the movie. It plays there's moments in this movie where it's like a community theater version of a Neil LaBute play.
So, I mean, at 1 hour and 15 minutes, I'm just going to assume that most scenes are this scene repeated over and over again.
Yeah, they had a gun in at one point, but
with added Mexico scenes, and then they're gonna pick up the fucking cube one more time, and Pinhead's just gonna come in and slay them all. No,
we're gonna keep going back to Mexico, even though we've already seen like actually a fairly succinct version of what happens there. We're gonna draw that out, and we're gonna keep going with this dinner party.
I'd like to see her throw the box in the pool and then see water seeping into his little dimension. He's like, oh no.
The screenwriters of this movie probably think that's how Cenobites work. That they're like just little people in a box. Get used to seeing that chains on the face. That shot's gonna come back a few times. He's out of the box.
Oh my God. Now wait, is that the brother?
That's the brother, yeah.
And the son? Man, she really was hurrying.
I'm starting to question myself here, but I think this is Stephen's house because of all the trophies. That's his sister. And then the blonde woman and Scott's dad are his parents. Is that a big deal in 2011? Cell phones versus landlines, the hot button issue.
Yeah. Hey, where the fuck are our cars?
Do you remember any dialogue where it was said that Scott's dad is a doctor? Because he really acts like he's a doctor.
Is that Scott's dad right there?
Yeah.
And is that Scott?
No, I mean, he's a Scotsman who is his dad. That's how I remember him.
Okay.
No, that's Steve.
The kid is Steve?
He says, I don't think this is his blood. And I was like, that's a big call for a person who's not a doctor to make.
Right.
And a big call for a doctor to make who doesn't have equipment.
Oh, yeah, I'll go with you. You know, to get the blankets.
We got some big blankets in this house. They just open up a room and it's just one giant blanket.
No.
Haunted house.
Accent.
We can't get out.
I heard accent there.
Yeah.
Is that the guy?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
And he looks a little bit like the guy from Glee, don't you think?
Yeah. But like an older version.
Like an older, less talented version. And they can't, the phone's down and they can't take the car anywhere. So basically, you know, we're stuck here. Both the audience and the characters are stuck here.
I mean, we're setting up a haunted house situation, but we have to have
all the cheapest options of the horror genre are being exploited here. Found footage, haunted house.
Cars go missing. We're on our own. We can't possibly leave this house.
I don't know if he says now, but he's like, did you hear that? He said, "Oh, it's too dangerous at night."
Yeah.
And it looks like they live in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know what coyotes or what they're worried about.
Well, because just a second ago they said something about whoever. What's the kid's name?
Which one?
The one on the couch.
Steve, to the best of my knowledge.
They said whoever Steve's scared of must have taken the cars and gotten the phone. So I think
are you into an ad?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Let's do this. Let's announce when we're back from the ad.
Okay,
from now on. And
then what? I pause or you pause or
whoever needs to pause will pause.
Okay. Hey, this box is a puzzle.
So anyway, it seems to me that they think there's somebody outside.
Right. Yeah, they don't know that they're in that little box.
All right.
That's also not true. If you go by the Hellraiser lore, if you've seen a Hellraiser movie before, which the people making this film clearly have not.
I'm looking at athlete's foot commercials, and I'm back.
Oh, I got to pause then. No? Or have you got to pause? You've got to pause.
I'm pausing.
You're pausing.
You tell me when you're back.
Okay. Oh, look at that. We worked it out. We'd be great in the Hellraiser movie. We figure out this shit.
Why do I have fewer commercials or not as long commercials? What's the deal?
I don't know. Who do you know in commercials?
You're still on commercial?
Still. I got I got the athlete's foot commercial.
All right.
Oh, I'm back.
All right.
On pause. You got chains. You got chains.
Yep.
You got lots of
bloody tree stump or something.
Incomprehensible chains.
Yeah, lots of chains. Pinhead.
These Cenobites, they exude
do we have
nothing.
Multiple pinheads? What's going on?
Well, they made him a pinhead. Again, I don't think that's a thing.
That's the kid right
there? Yeah. I think there's a twist about that, but let's say yeah for now. Because I don't know if the twist means that is true or the twist means it's not true.
That dad doesn't know how doors work.
Yeah, they don't know how doors work. Otherwise, they'd leave and go somewhere else. The guy in the white shirt really loves that spot on the floor.
Yeah, he does.
He keeps going back there. I really think there are I don't know why I'm even saying it as a possibility, There's like 3 or 4 different marks on the floor that anyone can go to.
Yeah.
And they acted it out like a play.
There is some quality male behavior going on here. He says, I'll shoot anybody who comes near us. And he says, you're drunk, Peter. He goes, so what? I love that being drunk doesn't preclude him from shooting guns.
No. How long has it been? Tell us things we need to know.
Right?
Like, who is your son? Which parent are you? Good.
What you need is a Band-Aid.
I mean, this is so weird. They're putting pins in a guy's head and it has all the visceral quality of like putting pins in a cushion.
Yeah.
I don't know how you manage that. That's some achievement. How do you do body horror with no sense of the body in it?
Yeah.
It's like anti-body horror.
And you're putting it in someone's head. We should not like that.
No, we shouldn't like that.
We should feel something.
A lot of it's got to do with how Stefan is like, like he's eating a meal and enjoying it.
Yes, just figure it out. I love that she keeps opening it and closing it immediately.
Now this looks like found footage, even though I don't think it's meant to be.
Right.
The way that the lights went out and the cameras are shaking. It's like found footage and a found footage style.
Wait, what's happening? Did she put him back in the box?
What are those feathers?
Or did she put the whole house in the box? Oh, we're good and fucked now.
Yeah, lesbians.
Hey, lesbians.
People who look like dolphins. We got it all in the Cenobite world. Just anything vaguely kinky. You think Harvey Weinstein came on set and was like, one time I saw these 2 girls make out. Put that in.
Yeah. I don't know, but every time you open the box, some shit goes down.
I'm getting a real Cruel Jaws vibe from the way these actors are like close together.
Yeah.
Always in close proximity. And all sort of move at the same pace and distance.
Right. This is just some of the best looking around acting I've ever seen.
This house is one room and everyone keeps looking into different parts of the room as if it's another room. It's just one room. You can see it all from the outside and the inside. Go outside. You'll see it all.
I like they're looking for Stephen. They find him, but approach him gingerly.
Oh, God. Oh, that is really Cruel Jaws, having a person in between a tiny gap between 2 people. I was
going to say, look at that.
That's straight from the Bruno Mattei School of Direction.
I just need you to sneak around him. Like there's a director going like this.
Yeah. We saved ourselves a shot, people. Way! Now we're in a sad-looking strip club.
Are we in Mexico again?
Isn't TJ supposed to be a party town? Do you think they know that? Like, everything... I mean, I'm sure there's dives there too, but there's bars that are cheerier than this. Although we know we're back in...
the murder?
Well, no, I think it's a different place. We know we're back in TJ though, because there's a chili pepper on the wall. Seriously, there's like a framed picture of a pepper on the wall. I'm glad we found another shithole. Everywhere we go is a shithole.
Trust me, I do this all the time. There's the next number. What did he say? Fantastic?
He said a statistic. Basically, this is where Stallone got his idea of Mexico from in Last Blood.
Murderer. The name's Johnny, homeless detective.
I love they never make a decision about where this guy is supposed to be from. He has an American accent, Asian intonations, and hair, but he's kind of Latino colored.
Oh my God.
That's how they got the box. We wouldn't have known how they got the box otherwise if we didn't have this important scene.
And we didn't have this plethora of information.
If we didn't have this scene, wouldn't you just go, probably like a creepy guy in a bar gave it to them?
We don't have to talk to this bum. I'm no bum. I'm the keeper of the box.
You could guess this scene in your head without seeing it, right?
Because I'm into it.
This guy, it's kind of crazy that this guy is like more fucked up than the Cenobites.
Right.
And he's our protagonist. I think
this scene is totally on that actor's reel.
I think Clive Barker would disagree with his description of the Cenobite world. Just a feeling. I think it's like everyone's last day before they die. I may be wrong.
I don't think so.
No. Because that sounds shit as an idea. And except I don't think Hellraiser is shit.
I gotta tell you, you're intriguing me, bum.
So now I'm confused because I would have thought Steve would have been anti-box, but now he seems pro-box. Right?
This guy seems
Nico's
pro-box.
Nico's all like, I'm above the box.
He's not above the box.
Well, he's acting like he is. But Steve is like, yeah, this box. Let's give it a chance.
Now, the first thing you got to do is light your candles.
Because the power went out in the building and we can't afford to reconnect it.
And take your shirt off, but not your pants.
Although I wouldn't mind that the reverse of it would be fine. He's just got a shirt and with his penis hanging out. That'd be great. Haven't you done enough shit for one trip? Yeah, you murdered a woman. I'd say that's quite an itinerary, murdering a woman.
Right.
Something to put in the diary.
You've never murdered a prostitute. Not once. I just do. The box speaks to me.
It's a being a murdering douchebag thing. Again, that could be BTS footage. Get the fucking camera! Oh, here we go. Back
There we go.
to that one special effect. They got to show it at least twice to get their money's worth.
I think I got it.
Yeah, let's go to found footage. I kind of like that off-screen effect of the Cenobite world. They should have just gone with that and saved the effects money.
Oh.
Who the fuck are you? What do you want? You're not Doug Bradley.
Yeah.
I am Stefan Stephen Collins. Actually, no, I'm Fred Tassatiore from Lower Decks. And the Cleveland Show. American Dad. Yeah, we saw Chainface again. Ad.
I'll be prepared.
This is my ad sound. Auga! Aduga! Aduga! Now we've got a sound. We can totally do movies with ads from now on.
Boop, 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 boop.
So do you think they nixed the found footage style because it was actually harder to edit than the real movie?
Yeah,
like it just run its course. Like this thing is more trouble stylistically than it's worth.
What I think is brilliant is in a hour and 15-minute movie, we just saw one scene for a second time.
Yeah. And it's no coincidence that it looks like probably the most complicated scene, effects and makeups wise.
Oh, look at that. My program resumes in 15 seconds. It says on the bottom.
Mine resumes in 28 seconds. What is going on? What kind of cushy deal have you got with IMDB?
What can I say, friend? They like me. I'll be stopping now.
Oh, yeah. It looks like you're the one who's always going to have to pause.
Yeah. So you tell me when to start.
You know what the saddest thing is about the ads? It's about how better the production values are in these ads than the movie. I'm back. Aduga.
I'm on. I don't know.
Although I thought we were done with this scene.
Right?
We're back at the pool, right?
No, he had his face hooked up to
I just realized as well. Look
at this is total cruel jaws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people.
I got 5 people in a frame, everyone. Way. The mother, Nico's mother, looks like is not Jennifer Beal.
Yeah,
Jennifer Beals. You know who I mean?
Beals,
Devil in a blue dress. Is that her name?
Yes.
That's what I remember about that movie, the white person. We got another sex worker.
He's just looking for some comfort when his friend falls into another dimension. Oh, she's dancing to her own beat.
Is he though?
So I've got that wrong, do I?
Well, we've got him wrong, but I think that's purposeful. Because he's the real evil, right?
This kid?
I think so. To the best of my knowledge.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We have a shortage of 5 minutes in this movie. What do you want? Multiple sex and murder scenes. Signed, Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Oh. It's the scene. It's just like it's the same scene again, and also a scene nobody wanted to see again. You don't need blood. That's not how Cenobites work. They're not vampires.
Oh.
There's more sex workers killed than Jack the Ripper movie.
Jesus Christ. So when my best friend,
there he is. There's Red Skull from Captain America. What did he say? The power
plug?
Yeah. They're not vampires. I think they're under the misapprehension that they're vampires.
Yeah.
Because there's no.
But I'm just saying, if I saw my friend open up a box and Pinhead appeared, and then hooks went into my friend's face, and then they all disappeared again, I would get rid of that box and go back to America.
I'd also be like, is that Pinhead? Looks like a kind of dollar store Pinhead. Because I assume they never say Pinhead in any of the movies, which helps them sell the fact that this is Pinhead.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'd be like, nobody calls him Pinhead. He has pins in his head, but so do a lot of people.
But is it always nails?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking it up in a dictionary.
Wait, what?
They're looking up the word Cenobite.
I want my dictionary. I want to go get my dictionary.
I was trying to figure out why in 2011 they're getting a big old dictionary. Why they're not looking it up on
their phone.
It's just, maybe it is like we're basically doing a play, so it's easier in a play to have someone look in a big book.
So he's in both places?
This is flashback. Nothing to suggest that visually, but it's flashback. It's got to be. It's getting a dolphin blowjob.
Yeah.
I get, how can you rip a man's face off and it not feel visceral at all?
Right.
That blood is really watery as well. Back when I was a high school teacher and I
Complaint 63, watery blood.
And then there are other times when you see the blood and you think, no, that's too thick.
Can't you guys Goldilocks this shit?
Let's call Tom Savini. Tom Savini is busy and does not want anything to do with this.
Movie. He's a man of talent.
Don't you use one of those trophies to wedge it open?
Yeah, right.
He's got enough of them. Fucking hell, he's got
more trophies
like than he has life.
What about that? They look like some puppets. One of them looks like
one isn't even a trophy. It's just like a little puppet man.
One looks like the being John Malkovich puppet.
He won the make a puppet that looks like a trophy contest.
Yeah.
And that was his trophy. He got to keep the puppet he made.
It's a key to all of us dying. Now let's try and open it up.
The way that they talk about the box makes it sound like a consent metaphor, which is a weird thing to hear in a Harvey Weinstein movie.
Right.
You think he would have learned from his own fiction.
Well, if we know anything, we knew that Harvey Weinstein learned no lessons.
And probably doesn't watch his own garbage.
Yeah.
He does watch his own junk, but that's different.
What is going on?
So she periodically is like into the box. She's box curious. We've got Nico is above the box. She's box curious, and Steve is like, give the box a chance.
But I want to caress
It's a metaphor.
the box.
It's a metaphor for the Obama administration. Some people want to give it a chance. Other people think they're above it.
Is this where the knob's going to get slobbed?
I've seen lots of horror movies recently where people who are recovering from things are given soup. And for some reason, I don't know, like, I don't know, maybe I'm not a big soup person, but like if I've been through a trauma, I want to eat something satisfying, and I don't find soup very satisfying.
What the fuck are you eating my soup for, asshole?
I'm gonna drink it like it's ramen.
What's going on now? The House of Yes?
Yeah.
These two gonna fuck?
Yeah. It's like you just figure out who everyone's supposed to be, and then they pull this kind of incestuous intergenerational sex stuff, and you're like, well, now I don't know what the character dynamics are anymore.
That's the revelation.
We're gonna kick ourselves when we go away, read the Book of Revelation, and find out this is all in there.
Right?
Everything that happens in this movie is in there. We're gonna be like, we're gonna have to go back and apologize.
Apologies. My bad.
You remember how the Book of Revelation starts? They go, you're at the San Diego Tijuana border,
and yeah, it starts with the killing of a Mexican prostitute, right?
Ugh.
We're gonna get letters.
I'll just get my big book of letters.
This dildo.
You know, the saddest part of this scene is that now I understand a second time what is going on here. I had to watch this movie twice to understand this one scene. Can't imagine what you're going through seeing it for the first time.
So right now, is he just trying to feed his friend?
I like that. There's nothing to say that's not true.
With his own sister?
We still have lava lamps in 2011.
Yeah, I know.
No, that seems like they left that. that was definitely a leftover from the porn shoot there earlier that day.
Yeah.
They were doing Austin plows her or something like that. I just came up with that. That's pretty good, huh? Austin plows her. International man of
cockery.
Just direct to me. No, that's terrible.
And now the other dad's going to come in. He's going to like, can I join? Yeah, but I'm your sister, right? No?
I love it if even the actors were like, I'm your sister to the best of my knowledge. Am I a sister? Okay, yeah, sister.
Is that not correct?
Keep going! And I said, like, stuff to you as the director, keep going! I'm talking to you off. Keep going. This is like the guy who directed this is just constantly going like this.
Mm-hmm.
In every single shot.
Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Stretch it out.
It's like, this incest scene feels too long. They don't even have the good grace to throw in a sucking face joke.
Right.
That just shows how underwritten this is. Aduga, aduga. You have an aduga?
Yep.
Okay.
My program will resume in 65 seconds.
94 seconds. I think you get more ads when you watch this twice.
Yeah.
I think the punishment goes up the more times you try and watch this movie like 5 times, and you basically more commercials.
And you're going to be watching Gone with the Wind or Lawrence of Arabia, time-wise.
Time-wise.
No Time to Die.
That's right. Oh, you're getting an ad for that?
No.
You've even got a better class of... Oh, okay.
I was just talking about long movies for your sake.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, what proportion of No Time to Die is this? Mathematically. There's a little brain teaser for you to take you through the breaks. This is like real broadcasting. We'll tell you the answer after this.
After this. I'm back in 4.
Okay, yeah, well, obviously you just
2,
pause because I got 3 more commercials coming to me.
You know what's funny? What? This being an hour and 15-minute movie, it feels long.
And it's not just the ads, right? It's not an illusion created by ads.
No,
it really does, doesn't it? Well,
the ads have become a
I'm back.
All right.
Aduga. It's like, in terms of the movie, we're traversing dimensions and countries, but we're stayed in one and a couple of rooms the whole time.
Yeah. To be clear, when we're in Mexico, we're in one room.
Mexico
reset.
Counts as one room. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good distinction. Don't look too closely at the walls of the club, because they're also the walls of their room.
Ross, what do you think? What would a Scotsman do? I'm not Scotsman. I'm not. What
would make you think that?
I am from America.
I'm from the United States. Gotta light
Is
my
anybody
cigar.
else here?
I got a cigar too. I got a cigar for the occasion.
He just goes and smokes.
Cigars, whiskey, wine. These people belong in magazine advertisements.
I'll say.
Maybe that's where they got them. They just lured them in by making them think they were doing a photo shoot. They were like, guys, can you stay for like 3 more weeks? To do what? Nothing much.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll tell you when it's over. Here's an invitation to the premiere. Can I bring my family? You can literally bring anyone.
Yep.
He looks like the Glee guy when he looks confused. Like when he...
Is that the bum who gave the box?
I think that's what we're supposed to think.
Now, why is this guy working for, what are they? Cent to what?
Cenobites.
Cenobites?
He's like
Why
the
does this
guy
get to go lurking about with no pins?
Well, it's very TJ, isn't it, to have like the guy outside the club trying to get people in. That's what the Cenobites are doing. He's like the guy going, "Come on, we got girls, we got $2 tacos, we got
there was no helping
enchiladas
him.
and
He just had
donkey
to watch.
show.
He just had to watch his friend get scalped. Sort of.
The side that
he didn't
knife
even
in the
say,
head
"Hey,
like...
stop that now."
Break it up, you two. That the knife in the head looked like one of those Halloween, you know, when you have the gap in the head and you put an axe in there. That's what it looked like. I'm a doctor, I think.
Like any self-respecting doctor, I need towels.
I'm losing him. This guy's nowhere is it said that this guy's a doctor, right?
Now, near as I could tell, he just ran that knife across his forehead once and did nothing else.
That knife must have some amazing...
His forehead is basically the only place without a cut.
I lost him. Clear. Poof. Just doing it with my hands. Poof. Boof. I love the fact that he's a doctor, but it's never said that he's a doctor, except when someone is injured and then he acts like a doctor.
The daughter, just go get the gun.
Director's like, stop crying so loud. It's echoing off the walls.
I love that they just watched this guy get his face knifed up, but he leaves the door open.
Yes, I am confused.
Very.
Are you talking to the audience or are you talking to the characters? I thought you were nice. Nowhere Town.
Nope.
It's like fucking. It's like the mountains of LA. Yeah, it's like a truly bad movie on this scale can be demonstrated by trying to link everything to some sort of zeitgeisty diatribe about, I'm not evil, I'm just anti-conformity.
Yeah. He's like, there's not enough pain while I eat.
Yeah. It's like what a truly bad movie does. I'm a doctor. I know that doing that is going to hurt me.
Stop it.
I know when you
stick my sister and
you stick a gun in an open wound, it's bad.
P.S. I kissed my sister. You're what? You don't have a sister.
But is that Steve? Here we go. Here we go again.
Wait,
another
what?
Picking up a sex worker, murdering a sex worker scene. Just gets ranker and ranker as well.
We're going to watch another murder?
Yeah. And I look out for what their idea of variety is in this particular instance.
the other side of the box,
It'll
beating her
make
with
you
the
wanna.
other side of the box.
You know how you threw up in your mouth earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you might not be able to
What?
get to it fast enough.
Is that his friend?
That's Red Skull from
Or
Captain
Red-
America. Yeah. This
Yeah,
is
but
his
is Red-
origin story. This is how.
Is Red Skull his friend? The other guy.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not fucking with you. It really is that unclear. But yes, it's Nico. I
Yeah,
think,
Nico.
for now.
I thought for sure he was going to take down her top exactly the way he did to the other woman, and we were just going to like repeat the scene
No, you
exactly as we'd seen.
come on. If you've got 3 prostitute murder scenes in one movie, you got to mix it up a little bit. They've just got an extra level of rankness in this one.
Oh man.
There
Fucking
goes the
Red
baby.
Skull just sauntering in.
Baby drinking a ketchup bottle.
No.
This is where I draw the line.
This is wrong.
I've done it your way. I murdered a prostitute. That's literally the conversation they're having. Maybe we are watching New Nightmare. That looks like the Freddy
Yeah, it does.
from that. Maybe.
she didn't even get up off the bed. She
Now I realize I have done wrong.
Yeah.
Only now when I saw the baby did I realize killing women.
Killing innocent people's wrong.
I mean, this is horrible, whoever you are, but when you have a kid, this is like the worst thing you could possibly have to endure watching.
Right. Sure you can.
You can sort of see his ribs.
Yeah.
Inside his shirt. I'm trying to figure out if it's, the Nigel Tufnell t-shirt, whether they just painted that red, or whether the other alternative, I think, is they just got some baby back ribs from Chili's and strapped them to his.
Right.
And that's how they got the sound of the neck.
Now we're going to have to super glue this onto your skin.
I'm not going to give you the back off my shirt.
Or my second shirt.
What was that going? Okay, so now I understand what's going on.
You couldn't see that coming?
I just forgot that it happened, I think.
It's not the shirt off your back that I want.
It's the
face off your skull.
Yeah. So we got a freaky
kiss your sister.
So it was fine when he kissed his sister because it's not him, it's just his skin.
Right.
So this movie turned into Freaky Friday. And or Face Off. I know this isn't Paranormal Activity, but it's interesting how that there's only a handful of angles that you can see the house from. Yeah. Like it was filmed on CCTV. Aduga!
Yep.
Wow.
70 seconds.
Well, I got 80 catching up with you. Oh man. Yeah, so that they I guess in 3 weeks you don't have time to come up with a stylistic device for flashing back and forth through time. It just like
Right.
coming in hot, the past.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming in hot, the present. I'm also kind of amazed that this like in the casting of this movie, they would had to have found 3 different Tijuana sex workers.
Right.
Like 3. I mean, there's barely 1 in most movies. Imagine getting that as a casting agent.
Five, 4, 3, 2.
Well, you better get ready to
1.
pause.
Pause.
I'm back. Oh, Google.
Done and done.
And he's still walking around the coffee table pointing a gun at them. Again, how would you be able to get back into this if you stopped the movie and know where you were? It's one scene. You and I work in theater. We should do a stage version of this.
I'll say. Wait, she's fucking his dad? Yeah.
The revelation of spouse swapping would have more weight if I could remember who was married to who. You gave your reason for that, and that's because you wanted to bang prostitutes.
Yeah, you already said.
Okay. I'm going to go with your earlier answer. Not because you're anti-American. What's the name of that? What's the name of that actress from The Goonies and Parenthood? What's her name? That's who she looks like. Martha something.
Yeah, Martha
Plimpton?
Stapleton?
Yes. Okay. This movie is a who's that of familiar faces. There's a lot of echo in this dialogue.
Wait, she has to go do what? What's he want her to do?
Oh, I don't know. Go get the box?
Wait, what?
But you have to remember he's the other guy. So that's his son, but he's not his son.
Okay.
But he's talking about him fucking.
I was like,
another. I know. I mean, it's about as complicated as if they all had the same name. Like,
Bob, stop that! Don't you tell me to stop, Bob.
You haven't seen Halloween Kills yet, have you?
No.
Okay, well, we'll table that discussion for another time, but remember that characters with the same name.
What, you watched it on Peacock?
No, I saw it a preview of it last night. It's out. Shit. And I can't talk to you about it for a year.
That's right. Don't forget that.
I fucked that up. I will say there is no ambiguity about how I feel about it. That's all I'll say. I know exactly how I feel about it. It's not a No Time to Die situation. I know exactly how I feel about that movie.
Okay, fine.
Back in Mexico, I saw an upturned Corona bottle.
So
No, we only went to Mexico for 10 seconds.
So this guy's skin fit over the other guy. Do I have that right?
I remember you criticizing Lady Chu for like, you know, for dissecting the science of face-off. So don't you be doing it with Hellraiser Revelations, okay?
That's just the face. Just the face.
And by the way, they explain. You never said that on the show. They explain it in Face-Off. You didn't mention the little puff-out stomach. They have a whole shot of that to explain it.
But they make it seem like you could just rip off that guy's skin and then put it on like their fucking footy pajamas.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's no like seam or hanging threads where he's sewn his skin on. You think if the Cenobites could do that, then they wouldn't look like they have pins in their heads all the time, right?
Yeah, there's a remarkably small amount of Pinhead in this Pinhead movie.
Maybe he's not Pinhead and his name is Revelation. And so there's two of them, so Revelations. I guess they just assumed Doug Bradley would sign on, and it fucked him over when he, you know, had self-respect. He thought, he's done 8 Hellraiser movies. He can't have any self-respect.
There's no way.
Oh, wait, he does.
No.
Wait, he's got a slither of self-respect. How did that happen?
Oh.
Yeah,
we created a bit of a ceremony.
Yeah, you sit on the coffee table surrounded by tea lights.
We didn't see any of that.
You know, make it classy.
Yeah.
That looks rather good.
Sincerely, Harvey Weinstein.
P.S. Add in another prostitute murder somewhere. I got this letter from Harvey. It's really sticky.
Here we go.
And he, in certain lights, looks like James McAvoy.
Yeah.
In certain light.
Certain.
That's on his resume. Special skills. I look a little bit like James McAvoy in the right lights. So now they're all in Pinhead World. That looks quite good, that CGI effect. I wonder if they got it from another Hellraiser movie.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right?
At this point in the movie, I'm like,
a cruel jaws stitch.
She's got those like chattering false teeth.
Those chompers.
No, not the dolphin lady. No, not Miss Flipper. Because it could easily be me.
Because it's hard to tell. This is not my voice.
They were so close with the dubbing. It's literally a split second off in every moment of speech. It's like just not quite there.
Mom's horror is not my horror.
See how sticky that blood was coming off. Like, that's not what blood's like or flesh is like. It's what caramel's like.
Do these look like people who are into trades?
Well, this is as authentic as it gets. I think there usually is a trade-off.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's like part of the lore.
Okay.
It's interesting it's not come up before in this movie. Mouth's not even moving in that. It's really all about conformity.
Right.
No.
Germinates.
I don't think Pinhead cares about any of that, really. He's got nails driven through his face. He's not got time for sly cultural commentary on American consumerism. Went very Scottish then.
Wow.
He was like, "Hey, come here, you! I'm gonna shoot you in the face."
It's a great
come here, wee man.
Motorboat race. Problemo.
You pull a chain, I pull a gun. That's the Scotch Chicago way. I love that, like the dad mercy killing Nico / Steve and renders Pinhead even more impotent than he was in the storyline already.
Right.
Like, come on, I just got screen time. Now you're going to take it away from me.
$5.
And a Casio. Sorry, just thinking about good movies in my head. Really? It doesn't look like flesh.
Yeah.
Looks like
this right here is what $295,000 of the 350 went to.
Hadoga.
Yeah.
I can use the time to do
50 seconds.
75 seconds. And literally there's like a minute in the movie left. There you go. We could totally do a stage version of this. Look, I've already got the props. I got a dolphin toy for the
chompers.
So this is our last break before the end of the movie. What do you think is going to be our final scare? What do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think it's going to be? Think it's going to be a jump scare? You think it's going to be a cliffhanger? What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, no, I think
suggest the possibility of a sequel, since that's the only reason we're making this.
Tell me when you're back first.
Okay, are you already done?
Oh yeah.
You've got some kind of like gold level Prime membership. Back, agooga.
All right. So it seems to me that sister would have to get away and then cliffhanger ending, she really doesn't get away.
Okay. Well, I think it's been established in other movies that Pinhead's a man of his word, or a pinhead of his words. Pinword of his heads. So Mother's trapped in the little borrower box.
And he's surely going to succumb to his gunshot wounds.
There you go.
Yeah, called it.
And if that's not dead, I don't know what is. Even though his mouth is kind of still moving. Here we go. Get ready. It's going to be explosive. It's going to blow your mind. How we end this movie. Yeah, she's looking at the camera.
Breaking the fourth wall.
This never happened to the other fella. That's it. She looks directly at the camera. That's our final scare. Based on characters created by Clive Barker. No wonder he was pissed. He created the Cenobites. He did not create them.
Wow.
That's our ending.
Wow. If you say so. So really, this movie's an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. Plus, if you take out the found footage, it's a one-act play.
Yeah.
Steve, that's Scott's dad, Stephen Brand.
Do you know as to whether or not the next movie picks up from, like, is she in the next one?
Oh, I don't think so, no.
Okay.
I did not do that research, though. These names sound... I'm sorry to the people who are actually in this movie.
Yeah,
These names sound made up. You don't sound like real people. Stefan Smith Collins as Pinhead. Stefan, I did it wrong again. Totally different font for this part of the credits.
Per always.
When they did the Word document, they just did copy text.
They switch fonts in the middle of the title on this fucking movie. What do they care?
Exactly.
Hooker / skinned face girl number 1.
You think you could basically get away with the Pinhead thing if you didn't call him Pinhead, because nobody in the movie calls him Pinhead. Just don't put him in the credits as Pinhead. Cenobite number 1. Another sign of a bad movie, all the crew have nicknames in scare quotes. Mr. Woody, Joe the Thrill McGill. Either that or they weren't working together long enough for anyone to learn each other's names.
Right. There's another Stefan. First assistant accountant. The Stefans all got together.
The director is Victor Garcia, and you'll find some more Garcias in there as well. That's going to be annoying.
You all right over there?
Yeah. Doing my own little movie here. Post-production, another different font. Let's italicize this for some reason.
For reasons unknown.
Visual effects by Glow Gun. Is that a name of a company or just a glow gun?
Yeah.
We just fired a glow gun at people's faces. So the name of the makeup on the movie
is... 4
is...
Dimension Films. I wonder how many of these people are in jail right now. Special thanks. Who gets
Screen
thanked
Actors
by
Guild.
this movie?
Screen Actors Guild.
That's great.
Presumably
Bruce,
for not accepting.
Hollywood Damavandy.
Presumably it's thanking the SAG for
These,
not
by the
accepting
way, are
any
the
of the
songs
actors.
they could afford.
I don't remember any music in this movie. That
Me
came as a
neither.
big surprise to me when I saw that there were songs.
We'd like to thank the Screen Actors Guild for saying that these were actors.
Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's for refusing to accept them into the union so we could pay them less.
Yeah.
There's that fake sounding company again. Neo Art and Logic? What's Logic got to deal with filmmaking? In a holistic sense. Yeah, it's our fault, guys.
Oh, do you have episode 1 of Mad Men coming up?
It took me to Lost. Even your recommendations are better than mine. What are you doing to your Amazon Prime to make it treat you so nicely and me so horribly?
Who's to say? Well,
if you actually look on Amazon Prime, if you look at the synopsis for the movie, they can't even come up with the second sentence for the synopsis. So it simply reads, "This is the 9th film in the series." It's like, we've run out of exposition. All we've got now is like production facts.
Oh, wow.
If it was another sentence, it would be something like, "Did you know that 4% of ducks are red-breasted?" Like, yeah. Well, there we are.
Well, it certainly qualifies. It meets all of our standards for this very thing.
We had to come up with an elaborate set of criteria for this film to mean something in the world.
Yeah.
We're the only people this movie has ever meant anything to, apart from Dimension Films, who got another shitty video sequel out of
it. Now, so I guess the big question, is it so bad that it's good?
What are you going to say? What's your answer? I know what I think, but I've had a day to think about it.
Yeah, my initial reaction is no.
It's the correct answer, by the way. Yeah, I think, and here's why I agree. It's underwhelming in its incompetence.
Right.
It's not so bad it's good needs to have a level of creativity to the badness that,
yeah, right,
some kind of accidental artistry, whereas this just looks like they had literally like a blooper reel, you know? Like the metaphor for me for the movie is that, you know, the car knocking the camera off the moorings.
Right.
And then, you know, Pinhead's dialogue being dubbed just that little bit off. It's like, you look at this movie and you go, yeah, like if they could have made that, but if they'd have gone back and, you know, reshot those bits or done more than one take, it would come out just bland. You know what I mean? Like, at the moment, it's kind of it's not accident. It's accidental with no artistry. Yeah, it's like, that's just an act. You just look at it and going, that's funny, but it's just an accident, right? It's just you didn't have time to go back and take it out.
Agreed on all counts there.
And even at 75 minutes, it feels like a slog.
It does.
I don't know. Like, I still don't know how that's possible. Possibly because it's two scenes like mashed up.
Yeah, about like 3/4 of the way through, I was starting to think 1 hour and 15 minutes is too long for this movie.
But you can't legally get away with it being shorter, right? It's like the conundrum.
Then you've just created what? I don't even know.
a digital short. I don't know what I don't know what you made at that point.
Lost footage from Murder, She Wrote.
So that's that. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think what you know about how this was made adds to that as well, because you can read the lack of time and budget and consideration.
I was just gonna say,
and resources, like you can read it into every choice that's made. And I use choice in scare quotes. Which makes you go, oh, well, they didn't have time to go back and change that, as opposed to that's a delightfully stupid piece of filmmaking, right? It's like Tommy Wiseau had all the time and money in the world.
Right.
He had fucking green screen going on. It's what he chose to do with those resources that makes an incredibly bad movie. But here it's there's no craft to it.
No.
There's no bad craft. Maybe that's it, bad craft. I think you need
band name.
First of all, I want to know what's so bad it's good, because we've done this and Cruel Jaws and neither of them, Troll 2, and we've said we've not been able to say so far that any. So like, what qualifies?
Yeah,
this is a serious elite that we're talking about here. I mean, I'm sure we'll get there eventually, but
someday. It's
kind of crazy that we haven't got there yet, given the films we've seen. Yeah. Well, it's also, it also dates very badly.
Yes.
The fan footage style, like that being the sort of go-to for low budget.
Which is strange too, because if it's what was it, 2010?
11. Well, it was made in 2010, yeah.
Okay.
Between August and September.
Yeah. We got it over 2 months because they started late in the month.
Well, let me see. It was just September.
Okay.
3 weeks in September.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the idea of the found footage thing, we're so far past Blair Witch.
That is true.
At 2011, it just is it's like somebody saw that movie a week before they started filming this movie and said, hey, I got an idea.
I'm still not convinced that wasn't test footage that they just upgraded for lack of anything else to show.
That's interesting.
They keep saying things like, are we rolling? And, get me the fucking camera. I don't know if that's dialogue or just instructions.
Or just what the actors were saying to each other before somebody said.
I would love it if action. I don't think this is true, but I'm sure they were thinking Paranormal Activity, Blair Witch Project. But in the back of my mind, I hope.
All right, so that's true. I mean, I guess because Paranormal Activity was.
Oh, but
later.
We're way past that.
But we're still way past that, right?
They're still making those movies, but the heyday of it is still way in the past. But I wonder if anyone brought up Cannibal Holocaust, which kind of has the same, which has a similar sort of fan footage, like elements to it. But I don't think anyone did. I suspect not.
Good grief. What's funny is like I don't have a lot to say now because we kept saying stuff in between during our commercial.
And there's not that, there's not that much.
And there's not much.
There's not a great deal. Not a great deal to say. It's not a great deal of content. Yeah. I don't know why I put the accent on tense there, but it felt like I should. This is not content. This is not content. It's content. Because it's one little bit of content.
It's content to be contentlessness. I lost myself there, but
it's quite a thing. The fascinating object of desperation.
Yeah.
This is what happens when
this is how you keep property, everyone. I can just imagine a producer rolling around the set. This is how you keep content, people. This is how you keep properties. Action.
What do you say? Oh, what are we going to do when we finally got, when we've got the rights back? Just the same old shit.
One more shitty movie.
one more piece of shit, a bit like this. Yeah, it's funny because, like, I in my own life, I find a deadline helps. And I guess this is a cautionary tale of, don't put the deadline before the work itself,
Right.
Because that's all anyone's thinking about. It all comes pouring down to that. We have to get this in the can by this date or
by tomorrow.
I tell you what would be a very, very interesting movie you could make is a like a movie that's about doing what they do here. It's like, we've got to hold on to this franchise. We've got to come up with a movie. Like, I'd like to see that movie about people making it.
Yeah,
because that's a fascinating. I mean, everything about what's going on off screen in this movie is fascinating to me. Just the very idea of trying to hold on to a franchise that's like,
this is a very interesting idea to me. Like, I like the idea of the behind the scenes, but hiring all these actors again to show the filming too.
I guess that's kind of what they did with the Disaster Artist, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Similar kind of thing. I mean, I assume we'll. I don't know. Are we ever going to do the Hellraiser series? Because
of course
we're setting ourselves up for 10 movies.
That's a lot.
10, and let me see when they stop being in the. Holy moly! They stop after 3. So it goes Hellraiser.
Wait, everything after 3 is video?
There's no. Oh, hang on. No, wait a minute. Let me go to the. No. Sorry. Let me go to the box office bit. Well, the story's not that much brighter. So. Okay. So Hellraiser, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, Hellraiser 4, Bloodline. I don't know if that's a crossover with Tremors.
That's great.
That's when Hellraiser entered the Tremors verse.
Right.
Hellraiser Inferno, Hellraiser Hellseeker, Hellraiser Deader. Whoa. Deader.
Oh, man.
That's the sad part of this. Is like,
sorry, what number is that? 7?
There are no numbers here anymore. That's the sadder part, is that Hellraiser Revelations isn't even the worst title in the series.
Right.
Hellraiser Hell World. Don't know if that's like Westworld, like a kind of Cenobite themed park.
Well, it almost seems like for a lot of these titles, like the contest was, how many times can we put hell in the title?
Yeah. Hellraiser Revelations. And then the final movie was Hellraiser Judgment.
No day. No night.
So how many of those do you think are theatrical releases?
Including the original?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the original's a given. So, yeah, let's put it in.
I'm going to say 4.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Everything after 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 video sequels.
Damn. Maybe that's how we split it up. I mean, that makes a slog for the back end, but
I think after we do Bloodline, Hellraiser 4, in case you've already forgotten, we need to put a paywall up, I think, to get the rest of those. I don't think I can do the rest of them pro bono. if this is anything to go by. Wow.
You know, maybe this is why we need to start our what's that? What the Vegas
Testicles?
Beer guys have one, huh?
Testicles. What you're miming there.
Sorry, I did go like this.
Cowardice. What was Patreon?
Patreon is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. You really want that to be a Patreon selling point. Come and listen to the movies that we refuse to do for free.
Well, I mean, for the people that love us, they can give us some money so that we don't have to keep paying out ourselves to watch the terrible movies.
Oh, just put everything on Patreon that we'd have to pay physical money
we'd have
for.
to think of some separate content to put on there for them. Maybe these they get early.
Oh, with this kind of production value, I mean, where else would it belong but on Patreon?
Is that Freddy mask?
Possibly. No, it's Nico's face. I went into the Halloween store and I said,
I need a Nico.
Do you have a Nico skin from Hellraiser Revelations? They said, yes, sir, we do.
Here, sir. Thank you.
I looked at the label and it said Freddy Krueger. And I said, someone has mislabeled this Nico skin. And they said, we'll get onto it with the management, but so please accept this for free.
All right.
There you go. Oh, we can't. I mean, until we've done Hellraiser, we can't. We can't rank this. Do you want to? Should we? Let's say this. Like for when we do Hellraiser,
where it is.
When we do Hellraiser, and remember there are 6 video sequels to choose from. Do you think this is at the absolute bottom, or do you think that there is a worse Hellraiser movie than this?
I will say there's a worse movie than this.
I think you're right. I'm looking at you, Hellraiser Deader.
Exactly.
You've got a lot to live down to.
I was just gonna say one of those titles is Hellraiser Deader. And that one and the last one could easily be worse than this.
It's so funny, when we did the Tremors series, we had a lot of people a lot of Tremors sequel fans come out of the woodwork and, send us nice messages to say, thank you for doing this. Nobody ever pays attention to these movies. I wonder whether we're gonna like.
Why did you do this?
Yes.
What's the matter with you?
Not Revelations. Dead is much worse. You know what? And what would be amazing if there's one of those theatrical movies is worse than any of these.
Is worse than any. Yeah, that would
possible.
Be wonderful.
Perfectly possible. But remember, this is the first. There's only two non-Doug Bradley.
Right.
I mean, to use the Tremors comparison, it's like a Tremors movie without Michael Gross. Yeah. And
which is, of course, pure insanity.
But probably going to happen. If we've learned anything.
Oh, I hope not.
I hope not. Also.
All right. Anything left for you?
No, I
no. Subject of any revelations about Revelations? Thank you.
That's very good. I was gonna say 2 viewings is enough.
There's gonna be a third, friend. Someday.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it was quite an experience. I think interestingly, this is exactly like when you read about there's not like you have those movies where behind the scenes and what's on screen don't match up. You have those movies that you watch and you think, oh yeah, I can see why, this guy wasn't available, so they wrote around that kind of thing. I can sort of see why that might have been affected. And then there are those movies that are just the missing piece in the story. So you go, what kind of movie comes out of these production circumstances? And this fits that, like a square peg in a square hole, like this is exactly the movie. If you were involved in some kind of time paradox and you had to make a movie to make this timeline work, this would be exactly the movie that you would make, just knowing what was around it. If you were trying to reconstruct time, I can't explain it more clearly than that.
I was gonna say,
if you were like,
if you say, he can't be more clear than that, ladies and gentlemen.
If you were gonna bootstrap paradox it and go back and write, Vivaldi's Four Seasons that never existed in the first place, this is what you would put in, because
of course you would.
It is exactly what was demanded, and no more. And no less, because as we said, any less, it technically would not be a movie.
It would not be a movie anymore.
It would not earn that, I know what you call it, distinction. Hesitate to use that word for some reason.
Distinction, friend.
Hesitate to use the word distinction when talking about Hellraiser Revelations. No, that's the other thing. I could sort of get on board with Revelation. Revelations makes me think that it's like aliens. That this is the second Hellraiser Revelation movie.
Amazing. All right, I'm done.
Me too.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on our Halloween watch along. It was a slog to get here and a slog to get through. But
you've probably
that's why we're here for you.
But on the plus side, you probably still got time to watch something good before you go to bed.
Exactly.
It's a win-win.
Time.
Or win.
Done and done.
It's win. It's not win-win. Win-win is overstating the case. It's win.
All right. Well, when's this coming out?
October 18th. I mean, you know that. You're watching it.
So
Monday.
October 18th is coming out on Monday. We'll have...
they know that.
We will just have been starting, I believe, our Halloween series
same day.
As well.
Same day.
So you have that to look forward to, everyone.
That's synergy for you, everyone.
There you go. Thank you for joining us. Tune in to the Everything Sequel podcast for our Halloween episodes. We're doing Halloweens 2 through 6. For Tom Steward of Lonesome Whistle Productions, I am Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards. Say goodbye, Tom.
Get the fucking camera!